Good morning. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Officer Rogers here at Ross Township Police Department. I'm one of the FTOs here, which means I'm a field training officer for our new officers coming in. And I'm also one of the SROs in the school, so you guys probably recognize me as Officer Little's partner.
Do you like your job?
I do love my job. Have a lot of fun with it. Love interacting with the kids, interacting with the teachers and the administration.
What kind of tools do you use for your job?
We carry a bunch of different things. We have a gun, of course. We use our radios to communicate with each other and dispatch. We use flashlights, especially when it gets dark out at night, so we can look in vehicles, that kind of stuff.
What kind of car do you drive for your job?
I drive a couple of different ones. We have both the Ford Explorer and the Chevy Tahoe, both with the lights and sirens, which is a lot of fun to use.
Do you think education is important?
I think education is very important. I myself actually have a master's degree. Officer Little is delaying right now, and one of the questions he was going to ask me was, do I ever or have I ever ridden horses? I grew up and I am from Tennessee, and I've ridden horses a lot throughout my life.
And the last one, do you like donuts and ice cream?
I do like donuts and ice cream.
And is there anything you want to pass on to the kids?
Stay in school, be nice to each other, try to behave, and listen to your teachers.
Thank you.
I'm Officer Sproul with Ross Township Police. I'm 24 years old. I've been in policing for 5 years. I started in 2013 with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, where I was employed for 3.5 years. I was an investigator there and a field training officer, so I trained a lot of the new guys. In 2017, I began with the Park Rangers in Hamilton County, where I currently still work. Going through the parks, making sure you guys are safe. And then in January of 2018 of this year, I began working for the Ross Township Police Department.
Do you like your job?
I love my job. It's the only job where I get to see you guys every day. I'm very active in the community, talking to you guys when you guys are at home. Playing with you guys and all sorts of good stuff.
What kind of car do you drive for your job?
Currently I'm driving a 2016 Ford Explorer. It's four-wheel drive. It's an SUV. It's got plenty of space, lots of lights, which is my favorite part, and the siren to go along with it.
Do you think education's important?
Absolutely. You guys are in second grade. You've got a little bit of time to go. But after that, you're going to go to college. You're going to meet lots of great friends and hopefully get a great job.
Have you ever rode a horse?
Yes, I have several horses at my house that I ride very frequently on trails and stuff like that.
Do you like donuts and ice cream?
Yes, I love donuts and ice cream. I eat them quite frequently, sometimes together. Putting ice cream on the donuts is also very delicious.
Is there anything you want to say to the class?
I'd say keep up the great work. You guys have a lot to do in this upcoming year, and I hope it's the best.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yourself.
I'm Captain Jack Tremaine, Ross Township Police. First off, greetings to the second grade class of Eldell Elementary. Glad that we could do this for you. I've been in policing for 36 years. I was at Harrison for 31.5 years, where I served as a policeman, a sergeant, a lieutenant, and then a captain, and then the assistant chief. And I've been at Ross for approximately 5 years, serving as a patrolman and then a captain here. And most recently been acting as acting chief of police in the absence of Chief Darrell Hostler, who's come down with an illness and unfortunately is not able to be here at this time. But I've been in policing for 36 years and have enjoyed it and continue to enjoy it. So that's why I'm still doing what I'm doing.
So it's safe to say you like your job.
I love my job.
What kind of tools do you use for your job?
Well, mainly as years have progressed and I've taken more of administrative capacity. I used to have a gun belt with all the things that go on that, with the handcuffs and mace and pepper spray and all those goodies, but I don't really use a lot of that nowadays. I still have a gun, of course, and handcuffs, but mainly I use a computer and do a lot of administrative work here at the police department, running the administrative end of this department.
What kind of cars do you drive?
I drive, I think currently I'm in a 2017 Chevrolet Tahoe, four-wheel drive vehicle.
Do you think education is important?
Education is very important. I encourage all the students of the second grade class to get a good education and to go further with their education beyond high school into college.
Have you ever rode a horse?
Have I ever ridden a horse? Yes, several times actually. One of my hobbies include hunting, and I've been in many trips to the mountains and the Rocky Mountains where I've ridden horses and did elk hunting and sheep hunting and those types of things, and I enjoy riding horses, yes.
The really important question, do you like donuts and ice cream?
I do not like donuts. That may come as a surprise to you, but I'm not a donut fan. But ice cream is the death of me. I could eat that by quarts.
Is there anything else you want to say to the second grade class?
I think that's pretty much it. Continue to get your education and continue to support the police department and your teachers and treat Officer Little over there well. So,
thank you.
I'm Detective Molly Johnson. I've been with Ross Township for a little over 8 years. I started out as a road officer and then became a detective about 5.5 years ago.
Do you like your job?
I love my job. It's rewarding to see a case go from the beginning all the way to the end, from the report to interviewing people all the way through the court system.
What kind of tools do you use for your job?
I carry handcuffs and a gun. I also use the computer a lot of paperwork, different computer databases, also working with the court system, prosecutors, that sort of stuff. When there's a burglary, we go out and fingerprint and do a lot of that.
What kind of car do you drive?
I drive an unmarked vehicle. It does have lights and a siren on it, but it doesn't have a light bar on the top.
Do you think education is important?
Very important, especially in our job, being able to read and write and do a report, do it well. Punctuation.
Another question, have you ever rode a horse?
I have not ever rode a horse.
And the last one everybody wants to know, do you like donuts and ice cream?
I love donuts and ice cream, although I do have a rule. I do not eat powdered donuts in a uniform because the evidence, obviously.
Do you have anything you want to tell the kids or pass on to them?
Nope, just stay in school, get good grades. It's very important. That's it.
All right, well, thank you very much. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, my name is Art Brickles. I'm a police officer, have been for 35 years. I worked for a couple different departments and currently work for Ross Township.
Do you like your job?
I do like my job.
What kind of tools do you use?
Well, the police officers use many tools. Of course, we use the tools that you see, such as our guns, handcuffs, batons, tasers, that sort of thing. But police officers have to use their mind as a tool as well. They have to think, be quick on their feet, be able to defuse situations. We have things in our cars that we use for first aid, helping people if they're injured, helping get into vehicles if someone's locked themselves out. So we have a lot of different tools and a lot of things that we have to do as a police officer to help the public.
What kind of car do you drive?
Currently, we have a Chevy Tahoe, which is a vehicle that's outfitted as a police car, and it has lights and sirens, has a radio, has a radar unit, which is something that we use to clock traffic speeders, that sort of thing.
Do you think education is important?
Absolutely. As far as being a police officer, when I started as a police officer, you could be a high school graduate and apply to be a police officer. That was many, many years ago, 35 years ago. Today, most police departments at least want an associate degree, a college degree to become a police officer, and then it's continued education in this field.
Have you ever rode a horse?
I have. As a young man, when I was 14, 15 years old, I had a best friend of mine that had 2 horses, as a matter of fact, and we used to go out there every evening and feed them and curry them out, and we would ride the horses. And my days of riding a horse was over when I got kicked, and it scared me when I was about 15 years old, and I stopped messing with horses. Even though I love them, I was scared of them after that.
Okay, and the question everybody wants to know, do you like donuts and ice cream?
I do like donuts and ice cream. I know it's a funny thing to compare police officers with donuts. However, when you're a police officer, you work a lot of different shifts. And I think where that came from is when you work night shift, especially when you're out here at nighttime and the restaurants and things are closed, the one thing that's usually open are the gas stations that sell donuts, and the donut shops are opening early in the morning to make donuts for people. So we tend to eat donuts, and I think that's where it got connected with the police officers. But yes, I do like donuts and ice cream.
Is there anything you want to say to the class?
Stay out of trouble, get your education. You can be anything you want to be in this world if you put your mind to it and you have a desire to do that. Pay attention to your parents, and just be a good person. Treat people like you'd want to be treated.
Well, thank you, Officer Brickles.
You're welcome.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Officer David Foley, Ross Township Police Department. Been a patrol officer here for just over a year.
Do you like your job?
I absolutely love my job. Getting to work with kids and getting to work with everyone in the community is an amazing opportunity.
What kind of tools do you need for your job?
We have a lot of tools on our belts and in our cars. Our number one tool that we have in our car is our computer, to be able to talk to dispatch and tell us where people need help are.
What kind of car do you drive for your job?
We drive Ford Explorers. They're gray. They have Ross Township Police on the side, and they have lots of red and blue lights to let people know that we're coming and where we are.
Have you ever rode a horse?
I have. I was a Cub Scout and a Boy Scout, and we had multiple opportunities to ride horses.
Do you think education is important for your job?
Education is definitely important. It's very important to stay in school. I graduated from Lakota West High School, and I went to college at University of Cincinnati and got my bachelor's degree.
And the big question everybody wants to know, do you like donuts and ice cream?
I definitely love donuts and ice cream. My favorite ice cream is peanut butter and chip from UDF, and favorite donut is chocolate glazed.
Do you have anything you would like to say to the second grade class?
Stay in school and listen to your teachers.
Thank you, Officer Foley.
Eldest students. I'm Officer Bennett with the Ross Police Department. Hope you're all having a wonderful morning today.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been in law enforcement for several years. I worked in public safety, 7 years in fire EMS, and served the United States Air Force as a police officer.
Our first question is, do you like your job?
I love my job. This is a very rewarding job. It gives us an opportunity to help out the community and help people in times of need.
What kind of tools do we need for our job?
Our number one tool is our minds and our education. Just work hard in school, because you're going to need that when you get out on the streets. And everything else that we carry on our Batman belt, that comes in play second.
What kind of cars do we drive?
My cruiser is a Ford Explorer.
And the last question that everybody wants to know, do you like donuts and ice cream?
I love donuts. We call them power rings. And I love ice cream, and we are fortunate to have Flubs located right next door to us.
Well, do you have any questions or anything for the class?
I just ask each and every one of you to be kind to one another.
All right. Well, thank you, Officer Bennett.